Assalamualaikum and hi. In this video, we are going to present our research findings on mental well-being among first-year university students.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arina Binti Idris and I will present about overview of research objective and also research questions. So first, for the overview of research, good condition of mental well-being contributes to a good quality of life. Taking care of our mental well-being is very crucial. Mental well-being can influence our moods, perceptions, and also attitudes. Mental health has become more complicated than it has ever been. The necessity to assess the degree of mental well-being has become a vital element of the health industries. And lastly, to educate the community on how to care of mental well-being in order to live a healthy and balanced life. For the research objective, there are 4 research objectives in the study. First, to measure the level of mental well-being among respondents. Second, to identify the relationship between academic pressure and mental well-being among respondents. To identify the relationship between social support and mental well-being among respondents. And last, to identify the relationship between financial hardship and mental well-being among respondents. For research questions, there are some research questions in this study, such as what is the level of mental well-being among respondents, what is the relationship between academic pressure and mental well-being among respondents, what is the relationship between social support and mental well-being among respondents, and last, what is the relationship between financial hardship and mental well-being among respondents.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Hafizul bin Muhammad Noor. This is theoretical or concept framework. The 3 independent variables that included academic pressure, social support, and financial hardship, dependent variables which is mental well-being. Okay, now we move to the research hypothesis. The first hypothesis in this study first is there is a significant relationship between academic pressure and mental well-being among first-year university students. Hypothesis number 2 is that there is a significant relationship between social support and mental well-being among first-year university students. And last but not least, the hypothesis number 3 is there is a significant relationship between financial hardship and mental well-being among first-year university students. Okay, in this study aims to conduct correlation research using dependent and independent variables. The study setting is in UiTM Puncak Alam from the Faculty of Business Management, which includes the first-year students from Bachelor of Business Administration, Human Resource Management, BA243, and the Bachelor of Student Administration, International Business, BA246. This study conducted using cross-sectional design. Data collected from students within December of year 2021. The main instrument of this study is questionnaire with 62 questions in total.
For the data cleaning, there is no missing value in our data collection. There is also no record being done for the analysis using SPSS, and to compute the mean for each variable, all the values are added up and divided by the numbers of value. For the respondents' profile, more than half of the survey respondents were from the female population, with 86.4% and less than 14% male. About 66.4% of respondents were from the Part 1 student and 33.6% were from Part 2 student. Other than that, 62.7% of students from BA243 and 37.3% from BA246. Survey respondents collected 0.9% of the students who are currently living in rented houses and 99.1% of students who are currently living in their own family or relative house. In terms of location, 35.5% of the respondents belong to the urban area, whereas 50% live in the suburban area and 14.5% live in the rural area. Lastly, 99.1% of the respondents live with their family or relative, and another 0.9% of the respondents live with their friends. Based on table of normality result, the skewness and kurtosis of academic pressure were normal, with the skewness ranging from -1.101 to 0.174 and the kurtosis ranging from -0.866 to 0.977. Next, the skewness of the social support was ranging from -0.602 to -0.058, and the kurtosis was ranging from -0.886 to -0.061, which was normal. Other than that, for financial hardship, the skewness and kurtosis ranging from -0.435 to 0.403 and -0.717 to -0.318 were also normal. Whereas the skewness and kurtosis of mental well-being were also normal, with the range -0.243 to 0.359 and -1.028 to 0.43.
Next is reliability analysis. According to the table, academic pressure had excellent internal consistency with Cromba Alpha 0.93, while the social support also had an excellent internal consistency with Cromba Alpha 0.92. Other than that, financial hardship and mental well-being also had excellent internal consistency with Cromba Alpha 0.96 and 0.97. Therefore, all the variables in the table had shown that the questionnaire items were reliable, comprehensive, and relevant to the studies, since higher alpha values indicate greater reliability. Based on the table, present the mean score and standard deviation for this study. The maximum score for academic pressure was 5 and minimum of 1. Also, it had a mean of 3.78. Other than that, the social support had a maximum score of 5 and minimum score of 1, while it had an average score of 3.51. Next, the maximum score for financial hardship was 5 and minimum of 1, and the mean was 3.06. The mental well-being had the maximum and minimum score of 5 and 1, whereas the mean was 2.97. The standard deviation for the variables of academic pressure, social support, financial hardship, and mental well-being were 0.692, 0.836, 0.998, and 0.898.
Next, I will present on our research findings about Pearson correlation and regression analysis. We start with the Pearson correlation table, which indicates that there was a positive significant relationship between academic pressure and mental well-being, as you can see in the table, which is P equal to less than 0.001 and R equal to 0.639. Strength of this relationship was moderate uphill linear relationship and indicate that higher academic pressure was associated with higher mental well-being issues. Next, we found that there was also a negative significant relationship between social support and mental well-being. As you can see, P equal to less than 0.001 and R equal to negative 0.423, which shows a moderate downhill linear relationship. This result indicates that higher social support was associated with lower mental well-being issues. We also found that there was a positive significant relationship between financial hardship and mental well-being, with the P equal to less than 0.001 and R equal to 0.421, indicate a moderate uphill linear relationship. And this result shows that higher financial hardship was associated with higher mental well-being issues. Moving on to the regression analysis, we can see that all the independent variables together explain 52.9% of the variance with R square equal to 0.529 in the dependent variable. This result was highly significant and the model was fit, as the F statistic is 39.734, which was more than 1, and the p-value is less than 0.001 and was less than critical value 0.05. Hence, the regression model was significant, which means that there was a relationship between independent variables and dependent variable. From the result also, we can see that the largest beta coefficient was academic pressure, with beta equal to 0.514, and this concluded that this variable, which is academic pressure, made the strongest unique contribution to explain the dependent variable. Therefore, we found that the academic pressure, social support, and financial hardship made a significant contribution to the prediction of mental well-being.
Okay, next we will go into the analysis of academic pressure, social support, and also financial hardship with mental well-being. Firstly, most of the respondents felt neutral about their level of mental well-being. Next, the respondents also agreed that they felt a lot of pressure during their studying time. The respondents also agreed that their family really tried to help them. Most of the respondents also agreed that they felt neutral about their financial hardship. And lastly, in terms of depression, anxiety, and also stress, majority of the first year students at the university respond sometime to all of the related questionnaire. Next, we go into the discussion on the relationship between academic pressure, social support, and also financial hardship with mental well-being. We can see that the academic pressure being the most strongest contribution to explain the dependent variable, followed by financial hardship and also social support. We can see also a positive significant relationship between academic pressure and mental well-being, with both variables being a moderate uphill linear relationship. Next, negative significant relationship we can see between the social support and also mental well-being, with a moderate downhill linear relationship. And lastly, we can see a significant relationship between financial hardship and also mental well-being, with a positive relationship and a moderate uphill linear relationship. Lastly, we go into the conclusion. The aim of this study is to study the level of mental well-being among the first year students. 110 respondents has been participate into this online survey. The academic pressure, social support, and also financial hardship had an excellent internal consistency. The highest mean score is the academic pressure, while the lowest mean score is the financial hardship. Meanwhile, the dependent variable lowest mean score is 2.97. The independent variable also showed a significant relationship with the DV. Results indicate that model was fit and all of the independent variables contribute 52.9% of variance in the dependent variable. The academic pressure was the most influential factor with mental well-being.
That's all from us. Thank you.